Hi, it's Agnes, and I wanted to share with you my latest travel manifestation. Now, it started probably 3.5, 4 years ago. My friend who I do all my Neville Goddard learning, reading, talking about with, we came up with doing 4 to 5 days a week when we could a series of 3 questions. Now, the first question we would say to each other is, what do we appreciate? And the second question was, you would say what you wanted and you would say it in the way. For example, she would say to me, what do you want? And I would say, I'm happy and grateful now that, and I would say what it was that I'm happy and grateful, for. So I've been saying to her for this period of time, between 3 and 4 years, I think, I'm happy and grateful now that I go to London and I have tea and scones. And I'm happy and grateful now that I've been to Paris and I've climbed the Eiffel Tower and I've looked across the city. I've been down into the glass pyramid of the Louvre and I've gone in to see the Mona Lisa painting behind bulletproof glass. A4, like an A4 bit of paper, because I remember I'd seen her in my 20s and I wanted to see it again. The A4 size Mona Lisa. And I'm happy and grateful now that I've been to the Moulin Rouge to see a can show. So all of these things was, I'm happy and grateful now that I've been to Paris and I've done these 3 things. And I've been to London and I've had tea and scones. So I've been saying this over and over and over. 3 to 4 years, 4 to 5 days a week to my friend on the phone, and just feeling, the joy of having done it, and sometimes not really feeling anything because we sort of did it, morning after morning after morning when I was driving to work, and she's retired, so she would just do it from the comfort of her own home. So I came to London, which was planned, and I had mentioned to somebody that I'm visiting here some time ago that I really wanted to have tea and scones in London. And I said it and I totally forgot about it. A few days later, they took me, without telling me, they Googled a place that did, tea would be everywhere, but particularly organic scones. And he took me on the bus and we ended up in this place in Camden Town. And he told me we were just going to look around, but he'd taken me to go and have tea and scones. So it manifested without me even looking. Now, for Paris, I hadn't actually planned to go while I was in London. But what I had said to the place where I'm staying at the Airbnb was, if there was a few nights that I couldn't stay here, would they let me know? And they did let me know that from the 24th to the 26th of September 2016 that I couldn't stay here because people were already booked in. So I had started looking around the area here where I am in North London just to go and stay for 2 or 3 nights at another Airbnb. So in that time, I had contact on WhatsApp with my cousin. I've got 2 cousins in Paris, and I usually see them in the south of France where our families live. Hadn't really put 2 and 2 together to go and see them. Had a conversation via WhatsApp. How are you? How are things? And one of my cousins said, I'm about to go on holidays. Are you coming to Paris? And I said, look, hadn't really thought about it exactly, but I need to find somewhere to go because I can't stay here in London at this Airbnb. So maybe, 3 or 4 days in Paris might be good. So he asked me the dates, and when I told him the dates, he said, oh, what a shame, I'm not going to be here, so I won't see you if you come. And then he said, but hey, why don't you have my flat while I'm away? Because it's just a studio apartment right in the heart of London, in the heart of Paris. God, I forget where I am right now. So it all kind of went ka-chung. It fell into place. I didn't really go looking for Paris. All I had done was say to my friend on the phone, I'm happy and grateful now that I've now traveled to Paris. I've been up the Eiffel Tower and I've gone down the glass pyramid into the Louvre and I've seen the Mona Lisa A4 size behind bulletproof glass, and I've gone to the Moulin Rouge to see a Can-Can show. So I've been saying that over and over and over and over for about 3 years, about 4 to 5 days a week, and it was just part of our morning ritual. So having that friend to do that, you can see, even though it took quite a while, it wasn't a really urgent goal. I mean, London was more pressing for me than Paris. And so what ended up happening was I did go to Paris. I did go to the Eiffel Tower. I got to the underneath it and I had to look up and I thought, oh, like 20 years ago I'd gone up it and it was great, but this time I looked up and I thought, oh, I feel a bit sick, the thought of going up there. So because it was quite a high hike, and with the little kind of elevator thing that goes up, and I thought, no, I'm not going to go up. So I just enjoyed being around the Eiffel Tower, going underneath it, looking, doing that whole thing. And then I went to the Louvre the same day, and I went in, bought the ticket, and you go through, to get in, you go through this massive, huge courtyard. It's so big, and you go down into the glass pyramid through a security check, and then that's the entrance into the Louvre to go and look at the paintings. So, yeah, went and bought my ticket, and the first thing I did was go and see the Mona Lisa, and it had changed since I'd been there 20 years ago, but I did see it, and she now has her own wall, and it's not just a little bit of glass in front of her. She's got this massive sort of, 2 meters by 2 meters of protective glass or perspex covering her up, and everybody was taking photos, and yeah, it was such a fantastic, surreal moment being there. Such an amazing place. The building itself is, I find, even more exciting than the paintings. It is just extraordinarily huge and just amazing. The presence in there is incredible. So did the Eiffel Tower, did the Louvre, and then the next day I thought, okay, I'm going to look at, and also I forgot to say, the bus left straight out the front door of my cousin's apartment block. One bus, 25 minutes, and I was at the Louvre. I didn't have to catch trains, didn't have to catch taxis. One bus. And he was right in the right position for me to go and see what I wanted to see. So the next day, went to see the Moulin Rouge. Again, I got there. I had looked up online to book tickets, and I'd looked at YouTube to see what the shows looked like. It has changed. It wasn't just a Can-Can show anymore. It was more like, Cirque du Soleil, where it's like acrobatics and all sorts of stuff. And it was booked out for the days that I was there, so I couldn't get in to watch a show. But I thought, I don't really want to be on the train late at night, not knowing Paris all that well, and being a single female on her own. I just decided to go around, have a look, take photographs, and just enjoy being there. And yeah, I didn't see the show, but I definitely went there and had a great time looking around. And it's such a stunning building, and beautiful, red, amazing with gold, and it was just a lovely, lovely, lovely place to go. And there's a little park right out the front with lots of really weird people out the front. But yeah, a bit of a seedy part of town, so I kind of wanted to get out of there fairly quickly. But yeah, managed to end up in Paris. I wanted to go, but I didn't necessarily want to go this trip. So I ended up there, and I know that when you launch things in imagination and you keep saying them, keep affirming them, keep focusing on them, it has a way of assembling itself in its own good time, at the appointed time, as Neville says. So wanted to share that story with you because, yeah, it's pretty exciting when you actually, a manifestation's in front of you and then it's behind you and you're done. So there you go.